All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little different. We are taking a knowledge shortcut, you could say.
We are?
And we're doing it with one of the most compressed, most intense sources we have ever tackled, the lyrical transcript from the Hudson Freeman song, If You Know Me.
About the transcript.
Just the transcript. Our mission is to treat this short, fragmented piece of music almost like a philosophical document. We're going to unpack what these brief lines reveal about the difference between, the expectation of intimacy and the much tougher reality.
It's a brilliant exercise.
Right.
I mean, when you strip away the music, this transcript forces you to confront the raw mechanics of a relationship.
Wow.
We're dealing with phrases we all use, if you know who you would. But here, that language has this incredible weight.
It really does. It challenges how casually we claim to know someone.
Right.
So a question for you listening right now. What does knowing me actually require in practice? Is it just loyalty, or is it something much more active? Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So I think we have to start right where the source begins, with this clear premise that knowledge and love are conditional. The speaker sets an incredibly high bar with the phrases, if you love me like you say you do, and if you know me like you say you do.
That structure is everything. It's a test, isn't it?
It's totally a test.
The whole relationship is presented as almost transactional. It's like, if you claim to be my partner, that claim demands immediate demonstrated action. Knowledge isn't a feeling you have, it's behavior you have to constantly perform.
And even though the specific details are, they're fragmented in the transcript, we get lines like, you'd be home in the missing phrase, and you'd be singing the missing phrase. The implication is just perfectly clear. The proof isn't a talk about feelings. It's doing a specific thing in a specific moment.
Exactly. If you truly knew me, you wouldn't be sitting there confused. You'd anticipate what's needed right now, whether that's showing up or starting some shared ritual.
And if you don't do it...
If you don't, the claim is void. You don't know me.
It turns intimacy into this constant performance of familiarity. When you claim to know someone, there's suddenly this pressure to perform these actions to prove it.
And that pressure, that expectation of immediate, predictable behavior. Well, that leads us right into the core paradox of this whole thing.
Okay.
Because the script immediately flips what that knowledge should even do. True intimacy, according to this, isn't just passive agreement. It means active intervention. It means correction. Look at the lines that come right after. You just told me I'm wrong. You just told me the truth. These two. These opposite statements are attributed to the same person, the one who knows them best.
I find that, that's deeply challenging, isn't it? We're sort of taught to believe that someone who loves us should, affirm us, support us, no matter what.
Unconditionally.
But this says the same person who validates you with the truth is also the one intimate enough to contradict you and say, no, you're wrong.
It's a higher form of trust. It really is. Blind loyalty is easy, this kind of intimacy. It takes real emotional bravery. The deepest love isn't just comfortable agreement. It's being willing to be that, that abrasive surface that helps polish the other person.
Okay, but let's introduce some fiction here, because I think a lot of people listening would object to where this goes next. The lyrics talk about this advanced knowledge, this ability to preempt someone's thoughts. You have the lines, if you know what I'm about to say, you just cut me off, you just set me straight.
Right.
Being cut off in a conversation is usually seen as rude, right?
Yeah.
It's dismissive. How does this song manage to frame that as the ultimate sign of respect?
Because it shifts the focus away from conversational etiquette and toward a protective function.
Protective function.
Yeah. If I know you well enough to see the destructive loop you're about to fall into, then letting you finish that sentence would actually be a failure on my part, a failure of my duty.
So it's not about disrespecting me. It's about
protecting you from yourself. Think of it like a really sophisticated GPS. It sees the wrong turn you're about to make, the bad email you're drafting, the negative thought pattern, and it overrides your input. It sets you straight before the damage is done.
pattern interruption.
Exactly. And only someone with deep, deep knowledge of your flaws can pull that off.
That makes a lot of sense. And that level of intervention, that vigilance, it must require a tremendous amount of energy.
Oh, absolutely.
Which brings us to the most disruptive element in the whole source. I'm talking about this constant repetition of heat, heat. It's repeated 5 times in this tiny excerpt, and it ends with, yeah, heat up. This isn't just background noise.
No, it's a motif. And the heat motif is critical because it tells us about the energetic cost of this kind of intimacy. If knowing someone requires constant observation, performance, and the bravery to set them straight,
That dynamic can't be calm.
it can't be casual or cool. It generates friction. It generates heat. We often imagine mature love as, tranquil and quiet. This source just rejects that completely.
So the heat it's the energy of the emotional labor.
Precisely.
It takes a huge amount of effort to be known like this. You can't be sloppy because your partner is watching, ready to be a guardrail. And it takes just as much energy for them to constantly assess and decide, okay, do I step in now? Do I cut them off?
It's the absolute opposite of emotional complacency. It's the feeling of high stakes. Every single interaction is weighted with this potential for correction or validation.
So this little snippet of a song fundamentally redefines intimacy. We've established that knowing me is not about predicting, what movie I like.
Or just blind acceptance. If we boil it all down, this transcript defines knowing me as this complex behavioral insight. It requires active, protective intervention and immediate, specific proof. It chooses accuracy over comfort.
And it all operates under that intense emotional heat.
Always.
And it's so interesting how it concludes the final fragmented line, if you know me like you think you do, you just me, you just me. Even with the missing verb, the structure implies this one final defining action.
Yes, it's an automatic response that validates the entire relationship. The knowledge is proven not by what they say, but by the final thing they do. It suggests their actions on your behalf are the ultimate proof of their understanding.
Wow. I mean, for such a tiny source, this has been a really profound deep dive. We found that knowledge in this context is active, it's sometimes abrasive, and it's always challenging.
And it demands heat, not tranquility.
It absolutely challenges the superficiality of modern intimacy. It tells us that the deepest love isn't the kind that avoids a fight.
No, it's the kind that's willing to tell you you're wrong and set you straight because it means they know your self-defeating patterns even better than you do yourself.
So we want to leave you with one final thought to chew on today. If being truly known means the person in your life is prepared to cut you off and set you straight as the ultimate proof of their intimacy, what predictable, negative habit, what internal bad route you always take are you most afraid of having exposed and intervened upon by someone who genuinely knows you?
Something to think about.
Think about that. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.